I want you to be aware of something, Jessica.
Yeah.
I am not wearing pants right now.
How do you can see me? You know I took a sip of tea at that exact moment, and it's so
It was
hot.
intentional! You have an intro blurb for us today?
No, I didn't write anything at all.
Oh, okay. I like how we said we should be more scripted, and then you didn't write anything, and I didn't write anything.
I wrote the last one. I mean, I'm sure. Let me open my notes. Oh,
I'm gonna do a full intro. I got it. I've got it planned already. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
For documentation purposes, please state your full Twitch username.
It's Jessica Woot.
Excellent. So this is my co-host Jessica Woot on the Two Brains, Two Birds?
No!
2 birds, 1 brain.
Also,
you asked me to no brain.
You asked me to say my full Twitch name, and then you didn't say my full Twitch name.
No, I wasn't going to.
That was then why?
Don't worry about it.
Jesus fuck. Okay.
It's Jessica Woot, my co-host of 2 Birds, 1 Brain podcast with myself, the Curious Alice. Wow, that was embarrassing. I'm so sorry.
Add it to the list of embarrassing things that we've done. You know, having a whole conversation half muted on stream.
Oh, why would you out me like that?
I'm not saying this has to go in the podcast, but this is a thing that recently happened, and you know what? It's on brand.
I can speak correctly and clearly always, no worries. Since it is going to be Thanksgiving soon, and I don't normally celebrate this holiday because it has been a bad holiday for me my entire life, we're going to instead list things that we are feeling accomplished in, because Jessica and I are both individuals that are bad about recognizing when we've made good strides in life.
You know,
and I think it's good. Yeah. I think it's good for us to reflect every now and again and say, it's not a gloat. We're not gloating.
No, it's someone that felt like it.
We're taking moments that we feel like, yeah, I'm really proud of this, and I do tell stories about it. You know, like that's what this is about today. So I have a list of stories that are genuinely fun accomplishments and some other ones that are just okay.
Yeah. No, and that's what I wanted. I wanted, whenever we talked about this, and we were like, what should we talk about today? A mix of writing ones that it's like, yes, no, this is, I feel like, a real accomplishment for me. And maybe they do feel a little bit braggy, but they're not, because we did it. Those are things we did, and we should get recognized for our things. But also then little ones that are really stupid, and it's like that's something that you're proud of. Go off, queen. Okay.
Yeah, just like weird things, because I feel like I had a lot of weird gaps in my education on like dumb things that I was like, you know, other people know how to do this, but I had to teach myself is usually what it is. So I like feel very accomplished that I'm able to teach myself something, considering how bad I am to sticking to a schedule and how bad I am at like following through, because I have ADHD and follow through is like our literal weak point.
This is true. Yeah, no.
So I'm excited.
You made me think of another little one. I don't know if it's one that I'll say, but yeah, I'm gonna write it down as an option. As a hey, I did this once.
Hey guys, I did this one myself.
Oh, I remembered another thing. Okay.
See, this is the other thing I'm excited about, is that you and I are gonna list things off, and I'll be like, oh my god, and I'm also really excited that I did that. So I'm gonna start all the way back with Twilight Princess is my favorite Zelda game. I love it so much. And I am waiting for that remaster to hit the Switch, because it's coming at some points. It has to happen, right? Like, I'm not buying a Wii U to replay my favorite game. Fuck you, I'm not doing that. But I want to replay that so badly on the Switch. If they released it for $120, I would buy it. I'm not even joking. Nintendo, please, I am desperate.
Don't put that out in the world, though, that you would pay $100 for
I am. Game. I'm putting out... They that's how people get Pokemon, dude. They'll buy both games for $70. So
I know, that's insane.
But my big accomplishment is I did it on the Wii. I need that to be the understanding, is I did this on the Wii because the controls on the Wii are freaking garbage, but the game is really fun. And there's a part in the desert area where you unlock the, like, there's a word for it, like a gauntlet dungeon.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you go further and further and further in, and you only get to, like, restock and heal, like, every 5 to 10 rounds, if I'm correct.
Okay.
And when you get to the bottom, you get to the Great Fairy, because you don't see her the whole game. She's in the bottom of this dungeon. And the whole gauntlet was very difficult because, you know, the enemies get harder the further you go down. And I literally got into the last section and I had a quarter of a heart left, and I was like, this is going to be impossible. There's no way I'm going to win this, because it was they were knights. So it is a mini boss from one of the other dungeons, and you have to fight 2 of them at the same time.
Ooh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So, like, very hard to do boss fight, basically. And I do have a witness. I don't know if you remember Ashley, my college roommate, as my witness, was there cheering me on as I slayed these 2 knights with a quarter of a heart left, because I can't even explain to you how freakishly hard that was for me. I've just hit another point. That also reminds me, I did beat all the Valkyries and the Queen of the Valkyries in God of War.
I knew you were gonna mention that one.
Same shit, dude. It is that same, like, I have put so many hours into this, and my soul feels like screaming when you finally get that last blow, because it is like, you know?
Yeah, no, I know exactly how you feel, because I remember, like, whenever we were first talking about this topic, you were talking about video game accomplishments, and I was like, do I really have that many? Aside from just, I finished a game, you know? But even if it's a game that I haven't really done before. But I did think of one, and that is in Kingdom Hearts 2, if we're talking about video game accomplishments that I'm really fucking proud of. There are, before you finish the game, there are optional boss battles that you can do, as there are in most games. But one of the ones, oh my god, it was so hard. I almost cried. And I also have a witness. My best friend Monica from high school and college was there watching me. But there's an optional battle where you can fight Sephiroth. And oh my Jesus, it's the hardest thing I think I've ever done in my life. I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't remember if I played it on normal or if I was playing on hard. I don't know. But it took me several tries. And it was one of those boss battles where, I mean, we were fucking shaking. Like, and then afterwards we literally screamed. It was like 2:00 in the morning. But that is one of my proudest video game moments. And I will remember that forever.
I love watching people on Twitch when they're like doing one of those like long runs, like a no-hit run.
Oh, yeah.
Or any of those crazy trials they put themselves through. I love watching people have that moment where they finally do it, because once you've experienced that once in your life, you get it.
The
and
adrenaline.
You see it in other people, and you're like, yes, this person's fucking living right now. And it's such a good, like, bonding experience to be like, yes, I get it.
It's intense. I mean, I don't know if I've ever felt anything that intense, like, accomplishment-wise. That's a different feeling of accomplishment than I feel like for me, and maybe for you, any of the other ones that I'll have written down. It's not that really visceral, like, it's a fight, even if it's not a real fight. Yeah. Oh, man.
Because, like, we both played sports. We both did theater. And there's, like, accomplishments in that we've both done. But, man, that beating a boss fight or the long haul boss fights, those ones just feel so good when you get through them.
Multiple health bars.
Oh, my God. I just did a boss fight the other day in God of War. That was 3 stages. And I was like, stop, please. I'm so tired.
No more.
It's a wild time.
It's true. Those count, you know. Again, that's a different kind of accomplishment.
Yeah, and I mean, sure. I have a theater one. So my freshman year of high school, I had not been in theater outside of dance the whole time. So like, I made it into the musical every year that I auditioned, and that was like a small accomplishment for me, because I was like, I'm kind of this. I was always a background dancer because that's what I wanted to do, but I always had fun. I really enjoyed being in the musicals, but landing. I didn't have to audition for it. I was given this role, but it was like...
Ooh, flex.
Playing... Well, I was in my dance studio. There's only like 10 of us.
Yeah.
Playing the role of Captain Hook was such a specific joy to do. And to like fully embrace that character feels like an accomplishment to me.
Hell yeah.
Because... it's just like he has so much personality to play with, where it was like I was given scenes where I was allowed to throw tantrums, and then I had scenes where I had to be melancholy, then I had other scenes where I'm like trying to kill Peter Pan, and then my favorite scenes that I got to do were the girl that was playing the alligator, the crocodile.
Yep.
Was like a little 6-year-old girl in a little gator costume.
Adorable.
And
okay.
my job was to play that out my ass so that I was like terrified of this tiny little crocodile. And my favorite was one night the headpiece was like the mouth and the face.
Yep.
And it fell off of her head and she looked at me and was like, I don't know what to do, because she's 6.
6, yeah. Yeah.
And she looked at me as the only adult on stage with her at the time and was like, I don't know what to do. She like did the hands like, I don't know what to do hands, and it killed me. And I was like, it's okay, Aiden, I'll help you. And I like grabbed her and did the whole thing that we normally do. And then as I'm walking off stage, I snatched the head and was like scared of the head as I walked off. And she was embarrassed that she lost her head. And I was like, it's fine. It happens.
Oh, yeah. Again,
it's theater, darling. It's okay.
Theater stories will be a separate episode. We're saving that one for a little bit.
I have so many.
Because that's going to be a big one.
I have so many.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes it's more fun to play, you know, the side character, not the main one, because there's more personality in those a lot of times.
The villain, man.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we both love a villain.
Thrived as the villain.
We love a villain. Because I guess the one that I wrote down that goes for my sort of theater stuff, it's part of it is because of theater, but it's not strictly theater. It is, you know what the superlatives are? Superlatives?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Now
I have another one to add to my list.
There we go. Look at this shit. In 8th grade, for the superlatives, I was voted most likely to be famous by my school class.
Let's go. We're halfway there.
Look at me now. And again, part of that was because, you know, for like 3 or 4 years in a row, I had a main or major lead, like in the school musicals, because I was Annie in Annie. I was Little Red in Into the Woods. I was Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. And then, you know, you go to school with the same people for a long time. So it was like I had choir solos and shit like that. And then, which actually I was talking to husband Richard about yesterday, because he didn't realize when I was writing these things down. I was like, oh yeah, and I won, you know, first place in the school talent show one year and like placed second the next year. So I was like, fuck, I forgot. People really thought I was going to be something. I was a big deal in my small town for a short period of time. People would recognize me in grocery stores, and it was weird as a child and be like, oh my God, you were Annie. And I'm like, I'm 12.
Well, I think something that's weird with, you know what? You know what thought I was just having that I was going to reply to what you were saying?
Oh, what is it?
Gone. Oh, I got it. It's back now. It's back. It related to the loss of memory. The thing with us both having potentially ADD, ADHD is that memory is very hard sometimes, because it's almost like everything is relative constantly. So, like, I don't realize that some of the things that I've done would be considered a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I tell it to someone else, and they're like, oh, that's really cool. And I'm like, oh, I kind of just did it and didn't even really think about it.
It was just something that I did.
Yeah, so like you doing all the cool theater stuff that you do is really cool as an accomplishment, because I liked being the background person and just getting to be on stage, and you know, I liked being friends with the leads because they were all really interesting people.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, I did theater like 1 or 2 years also aside from that, where I wasn't, you know, a lead character, a main character. And that was also, I had a blast and a half. Being a background character, just being unhinged, dancing in like Once Upon a Mattress, doing the Polish Panic, you know, like I had a great time. It was so stupid. And then there's less pressure and it doesn't matter as much. But yeah, you do forget sometimes. You're like, oh yeah, I did cool stuff. I did cool things. People thought I was gonna be famous.
I always forget that I got a superlative my senior year of high school. Like, I'm in the yearbook under my superlative, and I always forget about it. But I actually am quite proud of that one, because I went and looked at the yearbook votes to see, like, who was voting for who, because I'm a nosy bitch, and that's what I did. And, you know, all the popular kids kind of voted for each other for different things.
As they do.
But I got most unforgettable, and that made me feel so good, because when I was looking through to see who had voted, because I was like, there's no way I got a superlative. That's fucking wild. And I went and looked, and it was like all the weird kids in my choir class that I talked to who knew who I was, the weird kids in my dad's classes because, you know, nobody wanted to talk to them because they weren't the smart kids. And I was like, you're people. I'm going to talk to you. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And just like all the kind of socially rejected kids in our school that I just would hang out with because I didn't care. They were all the kids that voted for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, you guys, you're so nice.
Well, it's even with mine, and again, maybe it's just also having like fucking imposter syndrome even when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like, I didn't think I was going to get anything. Because I was not popular by any means. You know, like every year, I think, I jumped friend groups. Like I wasn't settled anywhere with anybody. You know, like I didn't quite fit into a group. And I had, you know, like maybe one or two like really close friends the whole time, you know. But I just kind of jumped around. Then I was like, oh shit, what? Me?
Yeah. Well, and like I came in homeschooled straight into public school, so like I didn't know the circles, I didn't know the cliques, I didn't know who was who. So I kind of just popped in and just talked to everyone that I had access to because why not? And my older brother did the same thing, and that's what he told me was, Alice, this is the only piece of advice I'm going to give you. And it's be friends with everyone because it's worth it. And I did exactly what he told me to do. I was like, all right, I'm going to do that because obviously it's worked for you. I've met your friends. They're really fun to be around. Minus the one. They know who they are. You know, it's just kind of fun. And I had my best friend already. So I wasn't going to be without a friend. So it was just like I could float between different tables and like circles and stuff.
Which is a skill in and of itself also. Yeah.
Which leads me to my next great point, which is that also ties into doing Twitch and like recording videos and stuff is I've made leaps and bounds over my anxiety to do public speaking. I still think if I was asked to like give a presentation and do an actual formal speech, I'd probably still throw up, but I've really worked on my informal speaking, a lot of that coming from, you know, that rooted, I want to talk to everyone in high school, came into, I like talking to different people in my college, which then turned into, I got an internship at Disney where my job was to talk to 40,000 people in 8 months. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Being able to get on Twitch and comfortably have the conversations that we do and really feel like I can control the conversation and lead funny conversations, and you and I are able to have full conversations while gaming and controlling chat, which is like a bonkers thing to do.
I'm amazed we can do it, to be honest, that we have the brain power to handle that many things at once.
I'm really proud of myself for managing to be like, stream as long as I have, because I know that that's a burnout thing. And to really put myself into this in a way that I know is very vulnerable, because it is live. There's no cutting the parts I don't like. It is what it is. And I think that's a really fun accomplishment.
Yeah, I mean, that one we both share in common, too. Because, that's one of those weird things that we have in common, where I know we were both very shy, weird children. I literally did not talk to anybody for, like, except for my parents and my grandma for 2 or 3 years. Like, I did not talk to people. So, I was very shy. But then doing theater and doing education programs and stuff at the zoos, like you said with Disney too, like it forces you to talk to people. So it is a skill. It's a skill that I think we both practiced. And
and there's a very specific style to it, because it's not just talking at people.
It's like not customer service voice the whole time. Yeah. It's engaging. We can hold attention. Yeah. It's not just...
I could get into it. As an educator, I have a whole lot of words to get into it, but I don't need to do that right now.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's not hollow. It's not just, hi, here I am to tell you about stuff. Here are facts. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's more than that. Go us.
And it's wild that people have to be taught how to have conversations. That's something that I didn't even realize was a thing. Mostly because my mom's one of those people who's never met a stranger in her life. She will walk up to any rando in the grocery store and just start a conversation. I'm always please don't say something weird. She always does, inevitably, but, you know, that's where my social anxiety comes from. But
that's fair.
You know, like, when you're raised by someone like that, you kind of learn that you can really just strike up a conversation with anyone as long as you know how to connect the dots. That's it.
Yeah. Paying attention. Context clues.
Yeah.
So I guess for my next one, I was trying, because I know we could have very easily devolved into skills. Because yes,
Yeah.
I'm proud of my skills, but I tried not to put too many on here that are like, oh, I'm good at this. You know,
I
like,
have 3 skills on this list.
You have 3
and
skills?
I could do them all back to back to back. 2 of them are easy.
I have one of them that I wrote down that is a skill that I am proud of because
throw it at me. I want to hear your skill.
That I can catch birds with my bare hands, and I've done it many times
girl.
before.
Hell yeah.
I have caught a bird with my bare hands 5 or 6 times at least, which I know doesn't necessarily sound like a lot, but still, I mean, I've caught many more birds than that using nets and trap cages and what have you, but catching a bird in flight or whatever with your bare hands.
Yeah, you're just like snatching them out of the air.
Power.
Yeah, that's incredible.
So there's the times that I can really remember that I did that, and that, you know, like I wrote down, there was an imperial chick, which is a large pigeon that needed banding because it hadn't been banded yet. So you don't know who it is, you know, it needs its name tag. And there was one day, this is the best one probably, but I was up in our rainforest aviary at the zoo I worked at, and it was sitting at a food pan just eating, minding its own business. And this food pan hangs out over the water a little bit, so it's not like it was easily within arm's reach either. But like he was looking at me, and I looked at him, you know that, and he looked at me.
All right, Weird Al.
That's where my brain went. And I was sneaking up just like, hey buddy, like it's all cool, you know, just sidestepping one minute at a time. He's watching me like, what up? Because he's a dumb baby at that point.
Yeah, he doesn't know you're there to snatch him.
He doesn't know what's happening. Yeah. And then I got close enough, and I was like a jungle cat. I just yoinked him, and then I had him in my hands, and I was like, well, what do I do now? I got
like, well,
bird.
That went well.
I didn't expect that to work. So then I had to walk all the way back down to our office, which was on the floor below me, until I saw somebody, because I couldn't really, you know, get my radio or anything because I had him in both hands. He's a big bird. He was a 2-hand bird, which is an inside joke also for many of my other bird keepers. But I just had to walk with this little guy in my hands until I found somebody who was like, hey, I got him. Can you help me? Which was pretty fun. Also, countless times catching penguins, which doesn't seem as much as a big thing, except that a lot of the times it's when they were already mid-jump into the water. Like they were about to full escape because they know we can't get them when they go swimming, you know, as they leap off the rock, and you just grab them like midair, and it makes me just want to Lion King Simba just like, I never did it. I wanted to. But that was always really, really good.
Oh my God.
I got
my
bird
skills aren't nearly that interesting.
That's the only one I wrote down because that's the coolest one. So go off. Give me your skills.
Okay, well, I'm going to start with my personal favorite, which is teaching myself how to braid my hair.
No, I think that's a big skill.
Because that's hard to do.
My arms get tired, I get bored, and I give up.
Well, and the problem is that I'm the only person in my family with hair long enough to braid. My mom keeps her hair short, and everyone else is a boy who keeps their hair short.
Yep.
So I was like trying to learn how to braid my own hair, which is why I can't do one single braid down the back. It's not happening. It's simply not happening. I can do 2 pigtails. I can do French. I can do Dutch braids. I can do waterfall braids. I can do fishtail braids.
Oh, shit.
I can do French fishtail braids. Like, I taught myself how to do braids because I wanted to have that skill. I thought it was important. Shout out to YouTube for having 1,000 tutorials. My other favorite stupid thing that I've learned, that is, I actually know how to do the copyrighted Dairy Queen swirl on the ice cream.
I don't know what that means. Enlighten me.
So Dairy Queen's has like a specific way that they do their ice cream when you take it out of the machine, where you have to like go up, down, and swirl it around, so the very top of the ice cream has a little swirl on it. That's copyrighted.
I also want everybody to know that whenever you said that, we both kind of did a little wiggle. Up, down, swirl it around.
Yeah, swirl it around.
It's very important.
It's very important to do physical storytelling. If you have that swirl in your ice cream and you use it in promotion, Dairy Queen can sue you. It is copyrighted.
What the fuck?
That is their thing.
Ice cream lawyer.
Yes, ice cream ware. And I only got good at it because there was one day where they're like, we need you to make 24 boxes of dilly bars, and they have the little swirl on them. So I literally stood at the ice cream machine and was like, 1, 2,
oh my god,
3. But I can do the Dairy Queen swirls though.
Oh
like,
my
anytime
god.
there's a soft serve machine, I'm like, let me see if I can still do it. I can, bitch. I can still do it. Okay?
No, see, that's something that counts. I like that because that I know I have one on my. I didn't move my list down.
That's okay. You know what? While you're looking,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you my last skill that I'm very proud of, and it doesn't seem like it's a big skill, but I'm very confident about changing tires on a car.
Oh, I can do that. Yeah.
There's one specific accomplishment about it that I am very proud of, and it is one time. Same college roommate, Ashley, went to a job interview, and she came back out to her car, flat tire. So me and my other college roommate drove out to her, and we're like, let's see what we can do to help you. And Ashley kept going, or I'll just call 999. We'll just get one of the men out here, 999.
Boo.
999.
I don't
999 is a radio
What
code
are you,
for
in
my
the
old
UK
job.
also?
AAA. AAA
Yeah.
will come and take the tire off because she had the services. And I was like, I will not let no man out-muscle me on this stupid fucking bolt. Because the bolt was like really
Sometimes
jammed.
they put those on way too tight, dude.
Yeah, it was on there really tight. And so instead of letting this man come out and do it for me, I absolutely, I jumped on it. I beat it. I kicked it. I got that bolt off, bitch. I was not letting that win. And I got the tire off. I put the other tire back on. The spare. I got it pretty much bolted all the way back on by the time AAA showed up. And basically all he did was go, yeah, it's on there pretty tight. You're good. You're good. And I was like, yeah, you're right. She's good. I did it. I know what I'm doing. Thank you.
Don't need a man.
The audacity to call AAA. Okay? I got it handled.
Yeah, I have also changed a tire drunk at like 4 a.m. in a Shipley's Donut parking lot before. So, I mean, it's a flex.
You're an absolute queen.
Thank you. Okay, so this one, it is a skill. It barely counts, but I did write it down, which is that I can wiggle my ears. It is very minimal. It's so minimal. Like, you really have to look. You can see it. I can do it. It doesn't wiggle that much.
I know how to wiggle my ears as well, and it is truly very difficult to do.
Yes.
Because you have to relax your face.
Oh, yeah. No emotion. You look fucking weird. It's fantastic. But I watched Little Rascals as a kid, and for some reason, watching Alfalfa wiggle his ears, I was like, I'm going to do that. And I fucking practiced for I don't know how long until I got the faintest wiggle. You know, it moves a little bit and I can do it. And I guess actually in the same vein, I just thought of another one too, like which is just a little skill, you know, that I practiced for a long time and I taught myself, which is how to shuffle cards, how to shuffle a deck of cards. Doesn't sound like a lot, you know, but it's one of those things where if you try to shuffle a deck of cards and you don't know how, you know, you're just doing the pushing them together
it is a mess.
Bullshit, and it looks so stupid.
Learning to do the bridge, that was my like big accomplishment in card shuffling. Is I could shuffle down, but it was the shuffling back up part that I like really struggled with.
Oh yeah, yep. That's part of the shuffle. I didn't know it had a name.
Surprisingly, the bridge is actually not a part of the shuffle.
It's not a part of the shuffle?
It is because it has its own name. Therefore, it is a second step.
Well, then, I know how to do that.
Yeah. You can shuffle it down and then push them together.
Oh, no, then I know how to do the bridge also. I taught myself how to do the bridge. The whole shebang shuffle.
That's the hard part.
I literally, so in 8th grade in English class, 7th grade. No, 8th grade. I don't remember. Whenever we had extra time, like that is what we would do in school, was we would play cards. Peanut butter, spoons, not Captain Dickhead yet. That was that's
later.
College. But like presidents, you know, all those, speed. So that's what we were doing. It was a flex if you could shuffle cards. And there was one like weekend day, I sat in my room for hours just listening to the radio, shuffling cards until I could do it. I gave myself blisters on my pinkies. God. I gave myself blisters learning how to shuffle these cards, and I'm very proud of it. Did you ever learn how
to play euchre?
No, I don't know that one.
Oh, okay. It's more of a Midwestern card game, but
Gotcha.
I'm always curious because I'll run into someone every now and again that's like, yeah, I've played euchre. And I'm like, that's so weird because
we
it's
did.
like Indiana and Kentucky play it, and that's like it.
Huh? No, we did
It's
speed.
outside of that
Speed
state.
2.
No.
Peanut butter spoons.
Yeah.
We didn't do presidents and assholes until high school, but still, I was so proud of that. With blisters on me fingers.
Oh my god. I do have a kind of a goofy one.
Yeah.
And I know I've told you about it, and I've definitely talked about this before on stream, but it is truly like an accomplishment that I should not be proud of because it was endangering my life to some degree.
Okay, we're going here now.
But
I have one
am
too.
So proud
It's
of it,
fine.
so I don't care.
Yeah.
But I've told you about this. So I when I was at Disney, I auditioned several times for different character roles. And one of the ones I auditioned for was the Disney Juniors characters, which perform full dances. So it was like you had to be able to do full dance routines to play these characters. And when I went to that audition, I was on day 3 of a severe lung infection that I had not treated.
Oh no.
I hadn't treated yet because I literally went to the doctor after that audition, and she was like, "You have a lung infection, but your fever's gone, so I can't give you any medication unless you say you have a fever." And I wasn't reading between the lines because I was sick.
Yeah.
So the doctor didn't give me anything. So that was on me. Whatever. That's not the point of the story. So I did a 2.5 hour full dance Disney audition on a severe lung infection that I got from people secondhand smoke blowing into my face at work.
Oh yeah.
And I smiled, was high energy the whole time, and it was like between like them pausing the music and playing, I'd like hack up half a lung and like do like a shakedown, and then would be like, okay. Put the face back on, and like kept going. And I think the only reason I got pushed all the way to the end, I was like measured in everything, was because all the other girls were significantly more talented than I were. Like they were really sharp in their movements. They were very like dance team accurate, good dancers. I'm okay. Like I am passable. My skill
better than me,
relies
that's
more
for sure.
in the my skill in dance is in the performance aspect, not the technique aspect.
Precision,
and I'm aware of that fact. But I made it all the way through that audition because they saw that I was dying, and they were like, she's willing to put her whole ass into it, and still smile and still be the whole thing, and then die and then come back. Like she could do it. And I think that's the only reason they pushed me all the way through the end, is they knew I was willing to give that. And I was very proud of that. And I think the only reason I didn't get the job was because the character I was auditioning for was Vampirina, because she was just getting introduced to the Disney Juniors programming. So that performer wears a morph suit. So it has the full hands all the way up to the neck morph suit because she's blue. The character is blue.
I don't even know who you're talking about, but I'm imagining things, and it's insane.
Yeah. The physical costume that this character wears is a full blue morph suit. So, famously, my arms are short, so I didn't fit the morph suit, and that's why I didn't get the job, because my arms are too short. And I was so incredibly upset when I realized this, because I was like, it's weird, because they were measuring like the size of my hand versus the size of my arm versus like my chest size. Like they measured every portion of my body, and that's also how I know I'm 5'1 3/4", because when Disney measured me, I was 5'1 3/4". And we will stick with that fact. Thank you. So I am very proud of that accomplishment, but it was very dangerous for me to have done that.
I have two things to say. Like one thing to say, and then I guess leading into my next accomplishment, because it also makes sense coming off of your accomplishment. But first off,
Queen.
I don't care how bad of a dancer you might think you are, you're better than me. Because I was in dance team in 8th grade of middle school because all my friends did it. There were a couple of us that definitely should not have auditioned for dance team, but they needed a big dance team, so we got on it. One of my friends lost a shoe in a performance. She kicked the boot off. We were a hot goddamn mess, and I broke my ankle, not during dance team, but another time, like in 8th grade at a friend's birthday party. I broke my ankle, and I was so happy because I didn't have to be on dance team anymore.
You know what? That's fair.
You dancing anything is a goddamn accomplishment to me.
You know, I sometimes forget that I have built in a lot of grace naturally and body awareness with myself because of that. And the funniest thing to me is that with Logan being in my daily life all the time, I notice how much he lacks those two things. He can be so gangly and so unaware of himself in space. He walks into door frames and counters and cabinets and handles on things, and he'll trip over just like the weirdest stuff. And I'm like, I like to say he has only 75% bodily awareness because he's great on the boat. He doesn't have any problems navigating when he's on his ships and stuff. Yeah. As soon as you get that man on dry land, he is running into all kinds of shit. And he used to do this before he was on boats too. He is naturally inclined to run into things.
Oh no, yeah, I do all the time. It's amazing that I, being in my last job, would climb literal cliffs and stuff, and I was okay 95% of the time. You know, it's amazing.
Well, I also think I'm going to cut you off right here. I'm so
How
sorry.
dare. Okay,
I'm taking the tangent.
Goddamn.
I think another reason why I'm very aware of myself in space is that when I switched over to doing life support roles and half my job required me climbing in and around pipes.
Tiny stuff, yeah.
Well, I didn't realize how much I wouldn't duck for things until you run your head into a PVC pipe like 4 times and then you duck. You know, you start to learn. And I think that's my other one, is that I was just crawling through all of these spaces with pipes, and it's like, yeah, you need to be more aware of yourself because you're gonna whack yourself.
Yeah, whenever I did penguin water changes for a brief period of time, I bonked my head so many times. It's ridiculous. Okay, we're bringing it back. So
bring it back.
You did
rewind
an accomplishment or something you were proud of that was also slightly unsafe. I have also one that is
excellent,
questionable and unsafe, and you know what, we're not going to unpack it right now, but it's still something. Like whenever, because I played soccer, we've talked about this before ourselves, but I used to be so proud of bruises, injuries, the whole shebang, like gotten during a soccer game. I was so proud of my bruises and stuff. They were my, quote, battle scars, 100%. I'd show them off. I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, would definitely play too hard just to do it. Not seeking out injuries necessarily, but not shying away from them either. Because then it'd be like, that's right, I got slide tackled and look at this huge fucking bruise I got. Yeah. You know? So I used to be so proud of getting little bruises and stuff.
You kill me. You're such an athlete.
I am, and I miss that too. I don't have the outlet anymore.
Yeah, you are an athlete.
But that's the thing though. Team sports, and like I need a goal. That's why working out doesn't do much for me. I need the eventual, like, you'll be skinny is not a thing. And it makes me feel very much like, you know, a dog or like an animal. But I'm like, soccer worked. It was like, yeah, chase ball, keep ball from going in goal. Get the ball. I had something to focus on.
Bouldering or rock climbing?
I did go rock climbing once. I didn't like it very much. Also, I'm scared of heights.
I mean, that's fair.
And then also there's just I know there's been 1 or 2 times where I jumped down from rock climbing, but then also from my previous job before, from climbing up into planters and literal cliffs and stuff too, where you're like, oh, I can jump down this, and then you jump down and it's a tad too far, and you feel that shock wave from the ball of your feet like up into your knees, and your body was like, you needed more
give when you landed, and you didn't give it.
Yeah, my body's not made for that. So no, it's made for soccer. It is made for specifically defense. So getting in the way and stopping a ball with my body, and then being proud of the honeycomb, you know, that's left afterwards. We get hit with a soccer ball really hard and it leaves the stitch indentation, you know, or again, slide tackling, all the things. Getting in the way, pushing people and being pushed.
Yes.
There was one time too, it was really funny, and because I pride myself on the fact that, like, you know, if you play soccer with girls versus if you play soccer with boys, it's a very different game.
Oh, for sure.
Very different game. Not saying that, again, girls aren't physical, because yes, they are, but also girls are vindictive. Oh, that's different.
Dude, watching the girls play soccer is scary.
You're like, number 4 tripped me. Number 4, I'm gonna murder you.
Yeah.
I will never forget. But like playing
there's a lot of subcontext
with guys is like I feel like there is, especially when they feel comfortable enough to push you around and stuff. Like that was a big thing for me. I was like, okay, they're playing like I'm one of the guys. I'm also being slide tackled. I'm being shoved. I got pushed out of a door once when we were playing indoor soccer because we didn't realize the doors to the gym, they're usually locked, and they weren't, and I got pushed straight out the door.
Oh my God.
So like that was also kind of a flex. I was like, yeah, they're playing with me just like they would their fucking bro. Like it doesn't matter if I get knocked down. I can take it. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm a tough bitch on the field, but not to like people in real life.
I never played at a high enough level to like I played with the Boys and Girls Club. Like I was playing mixed teams forever, and I never played at like a legitimate skill, but I do, however, I am the only person in my family that has a MAC championship ring from when I managed soccer, because my girls won the MAC championship the year I managed. Whoop, whoop. So shout out to my girls. Also, one of the girls on my team did end up going on The Voice like 3 or 4 years later, and she was on Team Kelly for a while, and I didn't know that until I saw her post on her Instagram, and I was like, oh my God,
cool,
she's on The Voice. What the heck?
That is her accomplishment. Congratulations.
Yeah. And I got to hear her sing what's that? I don't even know what it's called. I just know it's the No Diggity song.
Oh yeah, I like the way you work it.
She literally sang that a cappella during our like talent night for the soccer team. Yeah, I know why she's on The Voice. She sounds fucking awesome. So it was like kind of cool that I was like, I got to hear this person sing before she got famous.
Oh, it's that kind of that proud. Yeah, like
I'm just like, I'm really proud of my girl, you know? Like, I'm so proud of you.
Secondhand pride counts.
Go after your dreams.
Do you got another one? You want me to go with another one?
You know,
I have another soccer adjacent one also.
Give us your soccer adjacent.
It is that I was in high school. I was junior varsity team captain 3 years running, and I was very happy about that. Until then, senior year, my soccer coach forced me to be on varsity, because in sophomore and junior year, he gave me the choice. He was like, do you want to be on varsity or do you want to be JV captain? I was like, I want to be JV captain. I like big fish, small pond. I love that. That's my energy. And then he really wanted me to get a Letterman jacket, which I didn't give a shit about. I didn't want the Letterman jacket. I didn't care. So then I quit.
Oh, dude, I wanted one so bad.
I didn't care. I just wanted to play and have a good time, because that's in varsity. Half the girls took it way too seriously. Also, like, I'm good at soccer, but I'm not fucking fantastic. So, you know, I felt like if I was on varsity, then I was like, I'm not going to be, you know, the first string. I'm not going to be on the field the entire time. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to play, you know, and have fun doing it.
I think that's a fair choice.
But hell, yeah. Varsity team captain 3 years in a row. Bang bang. I loved it.
This is going to be a weird derailment back to dance, but it reminded me of this. For several years, my instructor tried to get me to do choreography, like to create choreography for different classes. Okay. And I was very, very shy to that, because there's such a rawness to creating movement with someone who has been doing this her whole life. You know, I was presenting choreography to my instructor to then put on a class of like 12-year-olds. I think they were like 9 through 11, actually. Yeah. I had the modern class, and it's really nerve-wracking, because to me, choreography was very much a come from the soul thing for me. So anytime she's like, I want you to choreograph, it was almost like asking me to get up in front of a crowd naked and give a speech. Like, it was so scary for me. And it took a couple years for me to really get comfortable enough to be like, I will do a whole piece for the show. Yeah. And I did end up doing that. So I think it was junior or senior year, I did a full piece for one of her modern classes that I assisted with. And I'm actually really proud of myself for actually doing that project. I think I have a video of it somewhere. I'd have to find it. Yeah. But that's something that I feel really, really happy with, because it's something that takes a lot of courage to do.
You put your art out into the world.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. No, that's I don't know how to describe that. I understand what you're saying. Again, it takes a lot out of you. It takes who you are to make that also. Again, especially with movement, And I understand that even being a gangly, awkward person, I'm like, if I could make my body do really pretty things, you know what I mean? There's people who cry and who, it takes a lot out of you. It is emotion. Especially, I know, finding the piece of song, and it's usually a song that means something a lot to you, and it all works together.
Yeah, I was actually so overwhelmed by the project that she picked the music for me, because I was like, I couldn't land on anything, and she's like, I've got you. I'll give you something easy. It was like a pretty chill drum beat and some other instruments, but nothing too complicated. The trick was knowing the limitations of my dancers because they were young.
Yep. Can't overdo it for them.
And being able to keep track of who can do what and utilize those skills and their strengths and, like, you know, challenge their weaknesses. So it's a really fun thing to do. I actually really miss doing it. I've been looking into different theaters around the area and looking at the companies and being like, all right, does anybody want an assistant instructor? Like,
I need to do that again, because I did that before the panini, before, you know, the the COVID
the
surge,
of the world.
you know, and then I never got to look into it anymore, because then the world fell apart. But actually, and I guess leading into like my next thing, which is kind of stupid, also cool, also funny, I did also look into roller derby teams up here, because for a very brief period of time, I did roller derby. Did I get to do any matches or anything? No, because I didn't like get to the point where I was on a team or anything yet. Because I think I only did it for like a month, maybe 2 months. Because
that seems like the perfect sport for you.
Oh, God, I had so much fun. But it was like $60 a month, and it was an hour and a half away from me. And that was a lot. But so I basically went to this team that was near Houston, Texas. And when I lived there, the way they started you out is first, you know, they were making sure that you can skate and you're not going to fall down, you know, and then you would go on to do, like, to be tested to see if you could do all the stuff fast enough and well enough to be on the team. And within the first time I was in there, they were like, oh, you can be bumped up to do the practices, like, to get ready to be tested. Like, because you can skate. I can stand up. I wasn't going to fall down. You know, I was pretty good on my feet. The only thing, though, because that was when they were teaching you stuff, they didn't teach me how to stop. So I could go really fast, but I didn't know how to stop. And that was my failure, and why I didn't do it long enough to really learn how to stop and to actually get on a team. I think I would have if I kept going.
Were you skating on quads?
Yeah, I was skating on quads.
See, that was the funny thing.
With the front bumper.
Yeah, I learned how to skate on inlines, and I bought quads because I was like, I really want to learn how to skate quad. It is a completely different balancing technique, and I fell on my ass so hard. I actually gave myself a concussion. Do you remember that?
Yes, you did. That wasn't that long ago.
I fell. I was practicing out in the parking lot, and I fell backwards, and I caught myself, but I didn't catch my head, and I smacked the concrete really hard, and I was like,
you didn't have your helmet yet. Yeah. I remember. Because I was like, so they taught us, you know, I did enough of the other thing where they taught you how to fall down, you know, safely, so that you would fall on your elbows. You tuck your fingers in, you know, so that you weren't going to get your fingers skated over and broken. But, like, before they went through stopping a little bit, but I didn't get to practice it enough. They were just like, oh, yeah, you can go up to do the daily practice with the team and then do the little tests, like, afterwards, and when everybody else does it, and that's great. But then, yeah, I could go really fast, but I didn't get the hang of because you can pizza, just like that episode of South Park where they're skiing, you can pizza slow down, but they did it so fast. Or you could drag, you know, the
I tried those two techniques. It is significantly harder than you think it is to do.
It is so hard. Yeah. But, bitch, I could do the one leg over the other, like getting speed on the outside. Ooh. It's the same as the soccer thing. I want to push people. I wanted to do it so bad.
I think you need to get back into roller derby,
but it was too expensive. So I'd like to look into one and see if there's one closer. Because, that was an outlet. I loved it. And it was hard work. My whole body was tired after doing that.
Yeah, it's a workout.
It was a little tricky because I do have 2 screws in my right ankle where I broke it, like I mentioned previously. So every once in a while, after skating for a long period of time, I would pick up like my right foot to take a step, you know, to keep skating, and my whole ankle on its joint would like wobble, uncontrolled by me. It would just be like, whoa. And I was like, well, that's probably not great. I need
Oh
more
my
support.
When
But
are you gonna watch Whip It?
anytime. We have to probably rent it because it's not like anywhere. But I do love that
Okay.
movie.
I
I
wanna
had a
watch that with
name and
you.
everything. I was ready. I don't know if I
What
want
was
to
your
say.
name?
I don't know if I want to say it in case somebody steals it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure someone in our audience will steal your skater derby name.
Okay, I was gonna be Loch Ness Jess. Like the Loch.
Oh,
I
that's so cute.
had some socks they went up to the knee, and it was a Loch Ness monster in socks. It was Loch Ness monster socks, and I
That's
was
so
like,
cute.
I could be Loch Ness Jess, and I could wear my Loch Ness monster socks and be a goddamn cryptid on the court.
Dude, mine would definitely just be like Mad Alice or Mad Hatter Alice.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot to work
Easy.
with there. There's
Yeah.
not a whole lot there's not a lot that rhymes with Alice either, but like you've got at least a
I got
basis.
the themage, yeah.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of Jessica content out there. Jess rhymes
You
with
are
mess.
the Jessica content.
Oh my god. That's a lot of
You
pressure.
are creating the brand.
Woot. Did you have another one? Do you have anything else?
You know what? I don't have anything fun enough to follow up what we just talked about because
I
think you have an excellent choices happening here.
I
mean,
have
my
some
other-
really stupid ones. We could always do a rapid fire, like really dumb ones, because I have
I
some
literally
of those.
only have 2 left.
Okay. I wrote down extra stupid things just in case, because I didn't know where we were going to go.
No, so one of the ones I had left over is, this is a random one that I didn't realize was an accomplishment until someone told me, and this is one of those things, is I've moved several times across the country.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I moved south by myself, and I moved to Atlanta by myself, and I moved where I am now with Logan, but, just us.
Yeah.
And one of the big things for me was, like, just having the audacity to move,
No, it's true.
There are so many people that I know that are still in my hometown that have never left, don't plan to leave. The farthest they might move is Indianapolis. And I'm like, oh my God, there is so much more world out there. And you're choosing to stay in the same 45-minute radius. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind.
I think that's fair. Because it's terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Well, I know a big thing that a lot of people don't want to lose is they don't want to lose their closeness to family. And I completely respect that. But, I also think that sometimes you need to know what it's like to go and live somewhere without them because you need to know how much you can support yourself.
It's true.
And that is saying as someone who wants to be independent, like some people don't want that at all. They want to hang out with their mom and dad all the time, and that's great. Like if that's your family, that's fantastic. Jessica knows that is not my family, and I will not be doing that.
Proud to be an independent woman.
Yeah. My mother gave my brother and I wanderlust so aggressively and then got upset when I moved 3 states away. I'm like, you did this. You taught me to be like this. You're not allowed to get upset.
Yeah, because again, I moved from Texas to Maryland. I'm not that happy about it. But, weather-wise, like it's colder, which is nice. Colder. I don't like the snow though either, but because I don't like driving in it, and again the unsafeness of that. But at the same time, then it's like I don't have to worry about hurricanes anymore. There aren't mosquitoes everywhere. There's bits and pieces. It's like I like it, but I don't. So I think having the willingness to do that more than once, that is I'm proud of you because I don't want to do it again ever. I know we're gonna have to at some point, but it is a lot. Ugh.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'm still
think that
mad.
If I was... Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm still mad also because there are things that I got rid of when we moved that I'm like, fucking hell, why did I do that? Why didn't I keep this item? I purged so much.
I know my first move, it was literally what I could fit in my car. Like, it was whatever clothes, my computer, and that was basically, and decorations, because I was moving to Disney.
Yeah.
That was it. It was whatever fit in the Malibu Max that I drove. And that was it. And now I'm up to, like, I have furniture and I have all kinds of stuff. So it's like, I have been able to start building a life and create a new place for myself in every city that I've lived. And it's been a really fun journey to really experience moving around.
Yeah. I think that counts. That's a big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, the only other ones I have written, they're really dumb. I can rapid fire them if you...
Yes, give me rapid
fire. We can end
fire.
it with a rapid fire.
Go.
I had a baby duck named after me at my last job by the keepers that I worked with. They were before I moved. They were like, we're gonna name this duck after Jessica. I helped raise it also, like got it out of the incubator and stuff. But they were like, yep, this duck is named in honor of you who are now leaving us. That's a fucking flex. Duck was also goddamn adorable. Loved it. This one I've told you before, and it's stupid, but I was really happy about it. In Star Tours, I was the passenger one time.
Hell yeah. You guys have no idea how much, if you've never done that ride, it is a fight for your life to get that. I remember during that moment too, it was the last time I went with my best friend Monica and you were the
her
spy.
husband. I was the spy, yeah, and then Richard. There was a little kid on our thing too, and like I was telling my friend Monica about it because she'd never been on it before. And I was like, oh yeah, they usually pick somebody and they show their picture and they're like, this is the bounty hunter on board that we're after. And I was like, it's probably gonna be that kid because there's a kid on board. And then it was me, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, the fun thing about that is it's not random. A cast member standing off to the side picks the person.
So that's the thing. I was like, they probably heard me say, oh, it's gonna be that kid, and then they were like, it's gonna be her.
Get her.
Because I was like, nah.
That's so
I'm proud
fun.
of that. I wish I took my phone out and took a picture, but I was so fucking surprised that I didn't know. I was also really excited the first time when I realized I had learned all of the words to the song Loser by Beck, because if you've heard that song, it's nonsensical as fuck.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs that it's all gibberish to me.
That song is literally made up of gibberish. Not like gibberish words, but the sentences, you're like, what are they talking about? None of this makes any sense. And I learned it all, and I'm so proud of myself. So every time that song comes on, I'm like, kill the headlights and put it in neutral. Stock car flaming with the loser and the cruise control. Babies in Reno with the vitamin D. Got a couple of couches. Sleep on the love seat. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it's like a poem.
I love it. Yeah. It's like slam poetry. Thank you, Beck. I was very proud when I learned that song. That's really all I got. I can make French toast without a recipe.
So you did remind me. I am very proud of myself for when I was a senior in high school and I finally went and rode a roller coaster for the first time after a long time. I had terrible fear of roller coasters.
Me too.
And the only reason I got on it was because my brother said, well, you're a little baby and a loser, and I think that you're just being kind of a bitch about it.
Oh my God.
How dare you challenge me? That's a challenge, if I ever heard one. Because my brother has no sense of fear. Robert is scared of literally nothing. He was not born with a fear indicator in his brain. He just does dumb shit all the time. So I sat in the front row with him on Flight of Fear at Kings Island, which is a launch coaster and also a dart coaster.
Oh,
so I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And the funniest thing was that I've only ever seen it that one time I was on that coaster, but the guy who launched us did the countdown and then said, bye-bye, and then hit the launch. And it freaked me out so bad. It made I was anxious, and it was a launch. It was really fast down a lit tunnel, and then it got dark immediately. And I made Robbie hold my hand. I was like death gripping his hand. And he's laughing the whole time we were on this ride. He is laughing. And there's one part where it stalls in the middle as you like come over a hill and then go down the other side. Where we had a moment and he turned to me and said, you should see the stupid look on your face. And then we took off again. And like by the time I got off the ride, I was like shaking from anxiety. Like I couldn't walk. And he was almost pissing himself laughing. Like we were so far in the opposite directions emotionally from that ride. But after that, like I didn't have a fear of roller coasters anymore. So it was like, and granted, my brother was kind of being a bitch, but like I did it. I got over it. Like it was great.
Oh, I have two things because I was also scared of roller coasters as a child. I would not get on them. The first. And I mean, it kind of counts, you know, at least for a kid. But the first, like, roller coaster I ever really did was Disney, was the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Because my parents lied to me. And they told me it wasn't a roller coaster. So they put me on it. And I was like, you lied to me. But of course, I had a great time.
That's so funny. And that one's really chill, though. Like, it's fast, but it's chill.
But also, being that I was a child that was not over 4 feet tall for a very long time, I was scared of goddamn everything. Fair. Everything was a rocket. And then, I guess this is also something that I didn't think about, but I am very proud that pretty much every time there's a roller coaster or a ride that takes a photo of you, I always look photogenic as shit. Because I'm usually laughing. So I have the hugest smile on my face. Like, I'm never really like screaming and look scared. I look like I'm happy as hell no matter what's going on, even though I am terrified, but I'm laughing. So I'm usually smiling in those pictures, which
I have never hated you more in my life than this moment.
I'm so sorry. I just realized
I was gonna segue into the end segment and be like, I'm so glad we've shared these accomplishments. But now I'm like, no, I'm not glad we shared. How
Perfect.
dare you?
I'm so glad I remembered that then. Yeah, I always look
funny.
fantastic.
All right, well, we're not allowed to ever ride roller coasters together because I always look dumb. I look like the cartoon animation of like all the wind pushing the fat on the face back and like fantastic. The eyeballs are hanging out. Like that's what I look like.
Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find a picture to share with you so that you can see. Oh, it's good. I'm excited for our potential moment where we do ride a ride together and then we have that memory to share.
That first union is going to be wild.
You know, the only roller coaster ride, and actually I might have a picture of it. I still look good, but I am actually where I actually look scared. Not even a roller coaster, but you know, the one that I was the most scared on and that it shows in a picture, I might still have it somewhere, is when I rode the dinosaur ride at Disney in high school.
Dude,
our entire
why is that
class,
ride so scary?
Our picture is amazing. It's terrifying. That's the only one, because I was not having a good time there. But
I literally hate dinosaurs so much, and my roommate used to make me go on it with her all the time because she worked there. So she could just get us right to the front of the line. Mm-hmm. And I was always like, please don't make me do it. So I would sit with my fingers in my ears because it's loud,
it's so loud
for no reason. It is overstimulatingly loud.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, it's a dark ride, but there's a bunch of lights that flash in your face. And I'm like, this is like, I don't like the lights. I don't like the sounds. Yeah. I don't enjoy the theme. Like, I hate everything about this.
That's the only one where I really don't. I still looked good, but you know, I wasn't smiling happy, also, but scared.
If you're in the back left seat of the car where the charging Carno is, dude, I hate that spot because it chases you down the track. And there was one time where we got stopped there. Like, the ride was getting e-stopped.
No.
So we sat there next to charging Carno for like 5 minutes. And I was like, I'm not looking at it. I can hear it, but I'm not looking at it.
Oh, no. Oh my God.
I hated that. I was like, I swear to God, if you take me on this ride again, we are not going to be friends. I cannot do that again. I'm so sick of this.
Oh my God. That's all we got, I think.
Yeah. We really gabbed today.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, there was a little bit at the beginning where we just kind of...
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah.
We were spitballing it.
We said,
I don't know how to hit the record button.
We said they were going to be around an hour. You know? Yeah,
we're good.
It's perfect.
I'm sure we can cut out a couple here and there. It's okay.
You know, yeah. Let's trim the fat. Nah, there's no fat. I want all of our accomplishments to stay in there because you know what? They all matter.
They're all important.
Uh-huh.
Big and small. Dumb and unsafe.
Oh my God, it's true. Oh, Richard just got an Xbox achievement. I heard it.
Good job. You know what? I'm so happy you got an accomplishment today.
We ended with an accomplishment. Richard got one too.
Incredible. Jessica, thank you for sharing with me today. I always have such a wonderful conversation with you.
Me
this has been
too.
Fantastic.
I think, you know what? Us meeting each other on the internet and building this friendship, that was an accomplishment.
You know what? You're so fucking right, girl.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord. Listen, if you want to see more of Jessica on the internet, she likes to stream live on Twitch at It's Jessica Woot Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays as her normal stream schedule as of the timing of this podcast. I also stream on Twitch. My schedule is erratic as shit because I just started a new job. I'm so sorry to my viewers, but usually I'm Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We do Star Wars Saturdays if that's something you're interested in. Jessica comes and hangs out with me on my channel and we play Star Wars games together. It's quite fun. But I think that's what we got for today. Check us out on Twitter. I recently polled on Twitter about where to find people if Elon destroys Twitter, and that will probably be on Instagram. So, looks like I'm going to have to revive my Instagram that I haven't used for 8 months.
The thing
It'll
you
be
don't
fine.
want.
I
Yeah.
know.
And we occasionally put things on TikTok, mostly stream clips
Yeah.
and the whatnots, but you can find us there as well.
Yeah, we have a Two Birds, One Brain Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. If it's a social, we've got it, because Jessica went crazy and booked all of them.
I did. Coming up with this name was an accomplishment. My
Yeah,
God,
so-
I had a brain blast.
It was good. So feel free to follow us on any of those, and we will see you next time, kids.
Bye.
Bye-bye.